Hello, this is Dry Races. I'm your host as always, and yeah, I'm. This is me playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2 another day, and again, I definitely need to think about like streamlining all of my schedules or so on. I definitely apologize for that. I just really need to do better, and it's just something that I have to take care of myself, and I don't know what else to say, but tomorrow I don't have a show. Unfortunately, the show was cancelled off, so, or at least the performance for tomorrow's show of Annie's, so, yes, so I will likely be streaming with my online friends tomorrow. Who knows about that? I just need to get back into the swing of things. Anyways, as for these upcoming 2 weeks, probably going to be a roller coaster as well. So, just let you know in advance that who knows if I will be streaming those days, but it's just something that we all, or at least I have to work with. I don't know when. I don't know the next time I will be streaming. It's the holidays and so on. Well, actually I will be likely streaming tomorrow. But I definitely need to get onto a better working schedule. Or such. Who knows, really. Anyways, returning back into this game. And the captive turnabout, Judge Gavel's theory. Once again, really, I will need to eventually work on what I needs to. It's her theory. And it's not a game theory. Oh yeah, speaking of which, don't even at me with, let's see, your Five Nights at Freddy's. I know that movie's out. I have yet to see the first one. You have yet to see this one. It's just that I'm not a real good horror buff, and not really into the horror in general. You know what I mean. Scary stuff. Horror. There we are. That's better. Anyways, my theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. What were you talking about? I don't remember. That's, Mr. Carceretto did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. That's still your assertion? And you can prove it, of course. No. Of course you can. Who do you think you're up against? What Eustace means to say is that we've received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival. She really is a very busy woman. Busy looking after Dane! Baby winner! The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. Cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep. Estimated time of death is between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the 27th. It's in death from a stab wound to the neck. Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well. Judge Gambit hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I feared there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, I think I just might. Let's go over this. The theory that... That theory being that Mr. Saint was the killer. You're certainly clinging to it rather stubbornly. And you are certainly clinging rather stubbornly to the idea that Mr. Saint wasn't the killer. Oh, snap! Do you have any conclusive evidence that he wasn't? Any idea who the real killer might be? I'd like to see what evidence you yourself have first. I am an emissary of the Goddess of Justice. My words are her words. But her words are wasted on you, I see. You would challenge me if I said the sky was blue. I won't challenge you there. That's a wrong allegory? Analogy? Is this a court or a cult? If you truly mean to refute the word of the divine, then come, show me your evidence. Isn't it possible that Mr. Prosecutor simply failed to notice the... Really? Miles noticed the body? Assistant to the Associate Attorney, you have been through the secret passage, have you not? Oh, whoa! How do you know? I noticed mud on you yesterday, and that charming key in your hair to be precise. That's incredible! You could be a great thief with eyes like that! Answer me truthfully, in the name of the goddess. Would you or would you not have noticed the body had one been present? Well, you know, I guess I would have. There you have it. Mr. Prosecutor did not see a body, which means there was no body there to see. Could you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more? The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Carcerado. Or more specifically, the key to his cell. Mr. Knight then used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint took Mr. Knight to the yard in that cage, and that's where he killed him. The following day, Mr. Carcerado crawled his way through the tunnel, but there's no body there yet. Wait a second, that doesn't add up. Mr. Carcerado smelled that sweet smell, so Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already. No, his body did not pass through the tunnel until some time after Mr. Carcerado had crawled through it. Mr. Carcerado used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended. From which you deduce that the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show. Yes, and who the culprit must be. Are you sure about that? Could nobody else have done it? I understand that Miss Berry was on stage for the entire performance. Most of the prisoners were watching the show. And those who were not have plausible alibis. What about the guards? They too were watching the show, as was the warden. How can you be so sure? A guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed. None of the guards left their posts during the show. I have checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from each and every one of them. Arg, she's thorough, I'll give her that. Are you finally ready to accept the truth that the killer could only have been Simeon Saint? Judge Gambit hasn't... Let's see here. Manager. Hopefully making sure I can see everybody down there. Whoops. Oh, hold on a moment. Oh, it's an autosave thing. Ha ha ha! Nope. Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. Contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was flying from the stage by the elephant. I do, just before he was to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted and down the well allowed him to complete the trick. Objection! Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on stage? Hold it. Simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. Darn. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show. Objection! You're saying that Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up? Right. Well then, who do you think is the number one most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body, hmm? Even you must see how this looks. If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Jessica Fell theorized, without these extra steps. Miss Berry. Yes? Does anyone else know about how Mr. Saint's trick works? Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform. So I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows. And there you have it. Overruled. Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? Is what I'm doing wrong? If so, here's it that deems it so. Oh, dang! How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You're a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This lies in the face of common sense. You're breaking every rule in the book. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I have chosen, and right there you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear. Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her will that we must fight, then I will smack you with my hammer. Then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. My saint is the suspect. The suspectedly saint. If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint. Thus, he remains the only possible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. But why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells? Yeah, it is pretty... It is pretty Among Us. But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else. It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. Ugh, I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. Nope. Let's see here. Was there really no other way he could have come here? Mr. Knight was awaiting trial. If he, a random non-inmate, had openly entered the prison proper, he surely would have been noticed. And presumably none of your witnesses have testified to have seen such a thing. Precisely. Praise be to the goddess of justice for granting you this insight. So, as you will agree, it can only be that Mr. Knight was brought here over in secret. Nope. You're certain nobody else had the opportunity? Need I remind you that we are in a prison? The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything out of the ordinary would have been spotted. Hold it! But Mr. Saint was under that same scrutiny, was he not? Overruled. The warden had granted the members of the circus troupe special access. As a member of that troupe, under the supervision of Miss Berry, he is the only person who was free to wander where he willed. Objection! It seems you've forgotten something, Your Honor. Overruled. Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth. Very well. Then recall this fact, if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who was free to walk around the prison. But there was a brief period of time on the day of crime in this prison. A time when it would have been possible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored. What do I have that shows there was a period on the day of the crime where oversight was limited? Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity. Which opportunity are we talking about again? We've previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. From this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected. Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple camera malfunction? Is that even possible? It was completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using this. Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one of which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder. What? Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark. Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing. Ha ha ha. Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door? Oh yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key. Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure, so I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily. Objection! No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon? That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. What's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them. What? There is no one like that. The breaker to the electric fence is in there. They would be questioned in an instant. There's only one person who meets these criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where this logic leads. Wait, we're actually indicting her. Ooh boy. The real culprit is... Warden Lagarde. Oh, just look at you! Aren't you the cutest little Poochie-woo? He's not just a pretty face. This also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you. Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume. Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death. Ho ho ho! Got her! You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I almost think you were calling moi the killer. That is precisely what I'm calling you. What? Warden Lagarde is a killer? Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, ho, ho, such a nutty boy. How do you could expect me, I'm the one with the charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous. Hold it. Sadly, it is not. Although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is a killer. Your son betrays you, Warden. And here's your accuser. The police dog? We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Miss Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you. Oh, ho, ho, darling, you're priceless, really you are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion? Verity, dear, do put him in his place. It seems Judge Cavell may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Or just one or the other. We might be able to brush it off as coincidence. However, indeed, Then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself. We should. And when we have, this case will finally be at the end. You're all being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing? I didn't do it, that's all. Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went into the prison? I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find the record of anywhere of my having appeared on or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories you have you little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be the killer. Give me a break. Miss All doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean. Oh dear, I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check the records. She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her. Please, Mr. Dorf, stop being a big silly. You've made a big boo-boo, and do you know it? Boo-boo, how dare you boo-boo me? I'm pure innocent, sweet. No door. Okay, let's see here. Do you have any evidence that you didn't enter the prison? Please, darling, let me finish. So you were in your office the whole time, and you didn't notice anything unusual? No, I can't say that I did. And you didn't notice anything missing? I must confess, I'm a rather messy girl. And a forgetful one at that. I put something down, and it's lost forever. It's a curse, darling, a curse. I even lost some important evidence recently. It was gone, poof, just like that. What? And she still has a job? Honestly, if somebody came to my office and took something, it might have been years before I noticed. Seems like I'll need more than the power room to expose her. On the day of the murder, I was working in my office. I went looking for something I had misplaced. Even if I had a reason to go into the prison, I simply wouldn't have the time. Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route? Oh, come on now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful filthy tunnel they discovered? Why, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed. No, you had another way in. I'm certain of it. Route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you take... Through the fence? Warden, you took a knife from his cell and brought him to your office. Which just happens to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. A good start for creativity, darling. And how would I have gone through the fence? The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it. Yeah, how is she supposed to get through that, The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room. And only you have the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. Overruled. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she even have reached the power room? Exactly, Faraday, darling. Well, Cleverbus, you've dug yourself a real hole now. Crockeye. If there's no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. God, but there must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall yet. No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone. Mr. Edgeworth, if you cannot find a... Or you aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence. That was a reflexive objection. But now I've yelled it, and if I don't come with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add. If you'll permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence? Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. She couldn't have done it alone. But what if she wasn't alone? Ooh, now we're talking. Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo. I believe that Warden Lagarde had an accomplice. Overruled. Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth had said nothing wrong. And has said nothing wrong. The inmates of this prisoner are all issued with security bracelets. The one that raised the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! I see that you have realized your error. And we are, of course, within the prison grounds. Where not only are the braces worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing. And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carceretto's escape. The only ones who are free to roam are the animals. And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker. No, so combos must be human. Overruled. Then who did it, given that it could not have been a prisoner or a guard? I wouldn't be Objection! I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. And I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was. This is one of the prisoner's bracelets. Indeed, broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner. What do you mean? And who is this prisoner? Frank saw it. Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. It's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while? That is pretty funky, and I don't mean in a good way. It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others, Buddy Harmacarnis, for example. Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation. Objection! In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sawit himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. the real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall there were two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera outside Mr. Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one full swoop by having Mr. Sawat shut off the corresponding breakers. Hold it. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun. And? Do you still deny it, Warden Lagarde? No, darling, you've got me. I admit it. Warden, tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it. No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You've got her. Nice shooting, cowboy. She won't be wriggling out of this now. As Mr. Edgeworth said, I Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums, no, we didn't. What? Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Miss Verity, dear. I thought your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now. She is all merciful. You have but to confess and you shall be saved. Oh gosh, alright. I've been threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said. Who's he? Bodhidharma Karnas, that awful assassin. Canis? How long has it been since that awful man came to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. The moment we were alone, he said this to me. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution. Oh, others? Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them. Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing. I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have set my dogs on you, or your precious family. I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for. Everything? Wait, is that how we became the fixer? Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command, and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him too. So you were smuggling in contraband? How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go in from my office into the yard without being by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down from the well on the prison side and went back through the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume. So that's what the sweet smell was. Yes, it was a signal for Kenneth's dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Racco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course. Can't have been easy from him finding out. Oh, we're all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Candace's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either. She has oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Kenneth couldn't fail. Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on until her work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the stamps, which I would do later when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. The Goddess of Justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool I know have. I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was one of our delivery days. So Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard. So that's the secret behind the fixer system, and why she was. Please. That's why you were interrogating Mr. Kenneth over and over. Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I barred everything the police had, that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move. I intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters? Then I suppose she must know about his correspondence schemes too. But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you just can't comprehend it. As you just have heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth, the words of Warden Lagarde's confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there is no need to hound her any longer? Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more to her to uncover? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. I think the goddess's justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has? Fortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called fixer's delivery routes. I believe she used the same route to move Knight's body. Where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? It's in the fact that the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal a delivery. What do you make of that? Well, that's because we've done it so many times now by now that the whole probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. That just matched the statement that Mr. Carceretto provided. His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. Ugh! You've been rendered speechless, I see. I hereby move to adjourn this session of the courts. No, what do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? What can I do? Is this as far we go? Finally! So we're actually done? Yes, Lucius, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Hold it. Hold it! Who was that? Come on, Judge G. These were getting really good. Fender! Are you objecting to my adjourning this session? No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that. You do, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boats. What are you doing, Mr. Fender? Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone? Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make, is all. As Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is. Ah, yes, I've forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender. How could you? Or kill me here. Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time. Right you are, which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you've worked a day in your life. Oh, Judge Gabel. Then let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? And now, amusing, but what is there left to ask? I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Thief's here has something more to tell us about the killer. Do I? Do I? Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears. Miss Redworth, what's he doing? He's trying to coax Mr. Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go all through the trouble of Sunday Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis. She did? No way! If he was convicted of committing murder here, then that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility. Where he'd be out of here forever, huh? Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it. No. Sinkham can't not be the killer. That's not fair. I was ready to prosecute him. I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, huh? Yeah? Nice! Now Mr. Winter has to go along with it, too. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Eustace Winter! Eustace Winter! Yes, our savior! Eustace Winter! Eustace Winter! Of course! How could I refuse this silver sun dun devil? Iddykins, you have such a way with words. Just doing my job, thief. Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all verity, darling. Do say you let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned. I can't believe you've pulled that off, Mr. Fenter. Whew, me either. Thank you for the timely intervention. It's the least I could do. Kid's not wrong. I've been leaning you on hard. And besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? Simeon's opinion on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there. And we can't follow this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles. Mixed Miles. Show 'em what that never rests spirit. I shall. Fabulous. Then let's get started. My truth. We really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, if it was him, he stabbed that poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes. I did him the most terrible disservice. Yes, you killed him. I suppose you could have put it that way. If I weren't such a sordid excuse for a warden, this would have never happened. That's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I'm certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude. What's there? Which fun of all? Eustace Winter, Eustace Winter, Eustace Winter, Eustace Winter. Oh wait. Hold on a moment. Never mind. You've clearly never met Mr. Knight. Wait, truth. I was being kept in a holding cell while Mr. Canis was in the prison proper. What could possibly have happened between them when they were at the opposite ends of the facility? Prisons aren't as big as they seem, you know. All kinds of awful things can happen. But Knight only arrived 2 days before he was murdered. I can't imagine anything significant happening in that short space of time. And you don't know Miss Candice, my dear. You'll find a way, I'm sure of it. How could he take a disliking to somebody all the way over in his holding cells? Oh, I'm just plucking possibilities out of the air, darling. As I said, there's no telling what really went on between them. You're so awfully serious, aren't you? Not that I mind, of course. Why is she looking at me like that? So noble, so dashing in that marvelous suit, so clever. I can feel myself becoming your business friend, darling. I really can. Ugh. Stay with me, Miss Edgeworth. Ugh. I wasn't prepared for that mental onslaught. What more can you tell us about these sordid details? Well, we all know what Gannis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think? Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in anyway. They must make some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted. You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight. That's because I didn't, sweetie. And the victim was simply a fun target to that monster, nothing more. Expect Candace used a chisel in the chest set, don't you? Awful grisly business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have time to cry out. I see. Thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail, if you don't mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course, we can talk about them some more. Warden Lagarde, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please, call me Fifi or Sweetie Pie if you prefer. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance. Tee, aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here. Ugh. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, don't let her get inside your head. You said it earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel. Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in? Objection! You're not talking about your way out this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chest into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived. What? I mean, of course that's when Mr. Saint came in, we... Objection! You checked him? I find that hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. If you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it there and then? Eek! Judge Cavell, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set? I did not. If no one leaks our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Mr. Knight or Saint on their arrival. Indeed, such a thing would imply an international intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through. Precisely. So, Warden Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess sets? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you... Alright, darling, there's no need to wrap it in. You got me alright? I questioned tonight. That was when I learned about the chess sets. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? None, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise. Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde, and please tell us the truth this time. Her lies are starting to wear thin. This may be my chance to expose her. My truth part 2. I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand. I make a point in talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you may call it. And then after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. The more she lies, the more thorough she seals her fate. So it was a simple conversation with a new detainee. That seems entirely above board. Exactly, Verity, darling. I knew you'd understand. Objection. Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? Suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination. So am I right in assuming that you talked tonight, the night before the show? Exactly, darling. It would have been around 3 on the 27th. 3 a.m. That feels squarely within the window of time laid out in the autopsy reports. That seems rather late for a friendly chat. Wouldn't he have been asleep? Normally, yes, but if you remember, a guard was attacked in his cell. We had to examine the scene of the crime, gather information. These things take time, sweetie. I assure you, he was wide awake. We all were. Regardless, I find it somewhat odd that you would choose to question him in such a late hour. Oh, you're such a tease, aren't you? Arg. Anyway, no matter how odd you think it is, I'd brought him to me, and that's what happened. But do you really insist that questioning every last thing I say? Sorry, Pheeps. He's like a dog with bones sometimes. I'd be sure to scold him once we're done. Though, would you mind giving us a little more info? Like where you had been brought to? My office, of course. Smooch. What else? Her office, which is where we believe the body was moved from. Would you mind appending what you just said to your testimony? Anything for you, darling. Remind me where your office is? You've seen the sign in the detention center corridor, I imagine? The one that says no entry? That's it, sweetie. My office is just up there. A short walk from the holding cells. I understand that you also have access to the yard? Why, of course. That's where my gorgeous little garden is. Oh, I see where you're going with this. You're saying that's how I moved the body. You had the means and the opportunity. It's hardly impossible. Overruled. Hardly impossible proves nothing. You have no evidence for this assertion. Objection! There's no other way that the body could have been moved. Overruled. Surely you haven't forgotten that it was Mr. Singh who dropped Mr. Knight's body down the well. Yeah, what she said. You're miles off, Edgeworth. Ugh, probably shouldn't have pushed this line any further for now. What did you and I speak about? Oh, nothing much. Just some small talk, really. I asked him about what animals he liked. what his hobbies were? His hobbies? Then I imagine you talked about chess? Oh yes, I couldn't stop talking to him about it. In fact, he even had a piece of paper covered with little notes about it in his cell. At least I think that's what they were about. So she's seen Knight's correspondence chess diagram? If he had really gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today. Hold it! You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? But what would my motive have been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. No, Angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. She really does hate Canis. No, Angel. I had my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. Just Gavel, I'd like to take you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too. Hold it. What do you mean? Objection! Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. Imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. If she wants to find out whose cronies are right, personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis has threatened you. You put your precious home at risk. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. So what if I did? You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess. Ah! Then who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. And it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman, sent to kill you. Wonder which is the real reason she had that chat with the prankster. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. When you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. For there inside his chest, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself. As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing, Canis. Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis, not Canis working for Canis. This is why you killed him. I see you have no more excuses. Judge Gavel, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. Hereby, in the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden? It's a joke. It's all a big stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you? I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly. Me? Please, darling. I understand it's all perfectly well, thank you very much. And I understand that there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth. You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict. Overruled. I'm curious to hear what the warden has to say. What? Your adult Verity. I've just one last thing to say. That Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself the winner. You reign? Does anybody remember a certain autopsy report? Of course, we received the finalized version only this morning. That's right, and I was listening to what you told us about Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? Wait. Riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. What does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? Ugh. Forgive me, oh goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What's now, What do we do? It will be fine, Mr. Edgeworth always comes through. Right, sir? Huh? It looks like, to me, like the Milesotrons out of commission. You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Turn things on their head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you. Look, detective, I'm much as a man of action as the next guy, but without evidence, we have a creek without a paddle here. This might be just the end of the road. We can't give up now. We have to do something. I'm certain that Warden Lagarde is a killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there here in this facility? It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those answers. Alas, we must wait until the trials to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid. Objection! Oh, come on, G. We're just giving up the killer a chance to destroy the evidence. Objection. Overruled. Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Offender? Hey, nope, not me, no. Try, Miles. Any bright ideas? What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? I found it. This question throws everything we've deduced out of the window. Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth? Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties. It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time. Live as I am into... You can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Fender said. Simeon's counting on us. Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death. There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? What's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some... Okay. Whoops. I brought out that little binder there. Gee, Miles, your little buddy there's quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your clients. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his clients. And you're just like him, right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who'll find it. Some means counting on you. Judge Cavell, you seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do it so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as the prosecutor and relieve you of your badge for good. She's right. I've put forward a number of theories that prove to be flawed in one way or another. I gonna get her. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversights? Wait, she said my theories were misguided. Nothing to say. The court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby... Sir! Mr. Edgeworth! Give my verdict. That's it. I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time. My theories weren't misguided. I was being misled. Defendant Sim... Oh, what now? I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor. I'd say it was past due, darling. Would you agree, Ferretti? Mr. Edgeworth. You may proceed. What? I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog helmet, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Kenneth the obvious suspect at first. This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder. Hold it! But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Kenneth? What if it was all carefully arranged? What if the same was true of the chisel, or purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking that the chisel is the murder weapon. But why would he lead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think that this chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest. What it suggested? What are you talking about, Darlene? Hold it. Mr. Wenner. If we were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? That Mr. Kenneth is the killer? And there you have it. That's the trap the warden set for... That was the trap the warden set for us. Oh, Mr. Kenneth has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right? Indeed, that was her plan right from the start. The frame-bodied harness. Her reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagarde certainly seems to harbor deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Kenneth. However, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is a killer. I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here. Objection! If we could just find the real murder weapon... Objection! How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom. This is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found. So I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse. Objection! I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that. Security gate! Huh. I'm glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does? Of course I do, I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal. Which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh! Precisely. If there is another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises. But nor can it have been... But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. So we find ourselves right back to where we began. Mr. Gavel, what am I trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth? What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here. Alright, we know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chess set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in. Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route? Alright. What did the weapon Lagarde use to get in? How did the weapon Warden Lagarde use to get into the prison? Get into the prison. Part evidence and ways to help with your investigation, is that correct? Oh yes, so you did everything related to the gun, you know. Who knows how many evidence from? See if it's found in my office second. Of course! That's how! The fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well. Nope. Nope. Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Kenneth yesterday. So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison and scrutinized. As part of the evidence Warren Lagarde borrowed from the police. What? What? Mr. Kenneth's knife was part of the evidence in the case against him. That evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel. Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel. But that can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it. Easy enough to explain that the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was a murder weapon and then attached the bell to it. In doing so, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis. And you exactly had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken. Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who's been messing with the evidence? I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde? Hold it! Files aren't exactly fair, you know. Anybody could have set that up. Objection! Unluckily for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique, because there are only 2 of them in existence. What? By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer. Hold it. But you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with. Hold it. I don't, not yet anyway. Mr. Winter, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away. Huh? But if you do find something, that's gonna make things awkward for me. This isn't about what's convenient for you. Oh, snap! We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Well, yeah, but, you know, this worthless excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it. Anyway, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it. You know full well that she will do no such thing. Not the power to insist on a search. Use it! Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. The work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. No, if we give Lagarde the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left. I have to object. I have to stop them. But what do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint. That means trying to find my cell phone. So I can find out where that light switch is. Never mind, found the light switch. Even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth the shot. It's now or never. Should I object? I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Regardless, I cannot walk away. Objection! But wait, Your Honor. This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got it. Got what, exactly? The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Kenneth's knife is. Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. Not at all. If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing. You wouldn't me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. God, this is terrible for my heart. There's no way you could. It's not here I tell you. Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon? Think, Miles, think. Someone, not even the police would search. Blind spot in this zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place? No. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to erase detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right, but if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden. Here, in the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more? Wait a minute. Are we? Are we really? Of course. That's what it must have been. The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. This chisel. Didn't we just figure that out isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Kenneth had this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right! The murder weapon is inside the alligator... There's a pond over there. Oh boy, we're really reaching straws here. What? No way! We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Cavell, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Understood. And we will need to summon a veterinarian. I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try. Please, by all means. Yay, she's finally useful. Come on, Ellie. Open wide for us. Warning the guard. The real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess? I have nothing to confess. As you wish, then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. No, Grog. Sir, we got it. This has to be it. It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon that body Harba Kenneth's knife. What's body them to? Making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. Okay, for this, I'm just going to bring up the camera a little bit. Yeah. Just for a bit. Yeah. So I can do this. Yeah. Yeah. You. There. Let's see her confess. I'm not the criminal here. This is all Kenneth is doing. I did the right thing. He was the Knight's lapdog. Of course, that despicable man, Kenneth. Why did he come to ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on earth. So happy together. So happy together. So happy together. Curse him. 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 I'm now a prisoner of fate. Now for the ending. March 29th, 12:34 p.m. Detention Center Corridor. Prosecutor thinner, sir. Thinner? I wish he were thinner. The test results have just come back. Thinner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress. Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Kenneth's knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me all you like. Yes, sir. Thinner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little. With rage? Excellent work, uses. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done. Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I? We have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Kenneth. It will be vital to know if Warden the Guard was simply jumping to conclusions on that front. Huh? There's Cluses and then there's you. Huh? Well, then guess we better get back to our investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir. Can't wait to watch you at work. It's winning time. It's winning time indeed. It's winning time. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough. Now this would-be assassin has been murdered. But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place. The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth. In the eyes of both society and the law. How can you even say that? You do not have to believe me, however. As a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe. I'm gonna kill you. We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must be prepared to suffer the consequences. What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his... No, not yet. I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth. Bye-bye. Dushkafel is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. And if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience? Ooh! Simeon! Simeon, you're out! Hi, Regina. I forgot how I sound. Is everything alright? They did let you out, right? Yeah. But I'm so confused about what's going on. Some guy just came and said I was free to go. That I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank. You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is. Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Eep! Oh, no. Stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the rug out from me under now. Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. So say thanks already. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. And a great big Regina Berry. Thank you from me, too. Mr. Saint talking directly to me? Small victories, I suppose. Can I ask one more question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now... Well, it's just... No, I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate someone enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he? That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you. No, he didn't. If he had, he'd just told me. I could have stopped him. Could have told him that hate never helps. That he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. It's the chest set I brought for him for his escape route. Oh, wait. I'd had it hidden and chiseled inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No, he believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it. That he could never be so entrusting as to look inside. Imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could have keep you from getting caught up in his mess. Oh, Bronco, why didn't you tell me? At least you understand now, right, Simeon? I'm sure he does. He might not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep, and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. That's not as complimentary as you think. Tomorrow, he'll be better tomorrow. I'll try. I have to, for Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal tamer out there. That's the spirit. Monkey time. Monkey. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love for it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh boy. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right. The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun. Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we've gotta go. Well, I'll think about it. Alright, Simeon, we've got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent get acquainted. What? Reach of the tiger? No way, I can't. No. Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cats. No, I can't. I can't. Please, Regina, anything about that, please. Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush, or topple over. I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously. Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all. To be an attorney. Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing right there beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good. Bittersweet? Not sure. Say, Miles, you ever thought about going into the defense game full time? Excuse me? You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgewater think about to switch sides? Why not? Coming over to the light side, it's all the rage. Everyone's doing it these days. Come on, Mr. Fender, you know it's not about the law. Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question. No, you weren't. Thug you were. Looks like you've got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles. Fender, I am a prosecutor. Well, probably not after the PIC inquiry. What? Never. Nothing. Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I've said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. Batman. I mean, Fender, I'll be waiting. Au revoir, everybody. I'm off to exit stage left. Now I'm about to exit stage right sometime soon. Follow in my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing? I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. Gregory Edgeworth, an attorney like my father, me. I look so gosh awesome. The captive turnabout awarded. Yay, I'm finally done with this chapter. Then that means... Ooh, I'm finally at that point. Right in time for Christmas time. And you'll probably see what I mean. Right? So this has been Dry Oasis. I've been your host. You can follow me on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, Discord, or Blue Sky. And let's see here. I hope that you've all had a great day so far. And if not, I hope the rest of your day is better. Or tomorrow is better for you. See you later. And sometime in the next few moments, take care. Bye-bye. And now to end the stream. End the stream. I guess I will just end the stream.